1,000 better
1,000
stories.
better
stories.
1,000 better stories.
1,000 better stories.
You're listening to 1,000 Better Stories, the Scottish Communities Climate Action Network's podcast sharing stories of community-led climate action in Scotland to help us all imagine the better and fairer future and transform what we think is possible.
Hello, it's Madeline, one of SCAN's assistant communications weavers. This week, we are sharing an episode from the CycleHub Stories podcast, A Journey of a Bike Time. This series tells inspiring stories from the people involved in the CycleHub.org's Recycles project and highlights the project's positive impact on communities. This short series will continue to be published over the next couple of months. You can check out the link to their Spotify in our show notes to stay updated. In episode 1, CycleHub.org's director Scott Francis talks about why the organisation was formed. We also meet David, who comes to the Dundee Cycle Hub to donate a bike with a story.
This is the Mary Poppins bike.
So this was a birthday present?
Yeah. And then my family started calling it the Mary Poppins bike because it looks like something that Mary Poppins would ride. It's got tan tyres and a red frame and brown leather.
Hello, my name is Sally Pearson and I'm a volunteer for CycleHub.org in Dundee. CycleHub.org is a community interest company based in Dundee and Angus. They run various projects related to all things bikes, cycling and recycling. I've volunteered for CycleHub.org for a couple of years now, and I have been inspired by one project in particular. It's called Recycles. The Recycles project takes second-hand bikes from either donations or recycling centres, trains up volunteers to help refurbish them, and then delivers these bikes to adults and children back in the community for free. In this 4-part series, we will delve into the Recycles project. We will follow a bike from donation to delivery. Along the way, we will meet dedicated people who were involved with the project, hear their stories, and understand how lives have been transformed. So prepare yourself for the journey of a bike time. We start our journey today on the banks of the River Tay at the Dundee base for CycleHub.org.
It's evolved so much over the years. Maybe if we start off with where it all began.
This is Scott Francis, director of CycleHub.org and cycle enthusiast himself. Scott shares his story of how CycleHub.org first came into being.
So back in kind of 2013, I think, it was even, so I had young kids in primary school and so I was keen to be involved at community level in terms of what was happening with the kids and supporting the school. And it started off with a conversation with one of the active school coordinators, which don't get enough credit, to be perfectly honest. And it was just like, we were looking to support cycle training within my kids' school. I was like, yeah, I'm quite into that. It's like, I'd always ridden bikes, been involved in the BMX scene from a very, very young age. I'd raced with Angus Arrows. So the passion's always been there for me. It's always been, in the back of my mind, when can I next get on my bike? Now, I'm relatively new to the third sector, so my bachelor's degree was in graphic design. I did a lot of work with corporate stuff and got burnt out with that pretty fast. All I could see was my bike sitting in the corner not getting used. I'd kind of taken a hiatus when I'd had my kids, and then someone got me into mountain biking. Basically from there, it was just the passion was reignited. So it was kind of round about that time that we realised that there just was nothing out there, especially within Angus, to support kids to cycle. So I did a little bit of deep diving into it. The company I was running at the time, we'd parted ways with one of our big clients, And that was the catalyst that I needed to go all in on the third sector stuff. And then that's how Angus CycleHub began, and that's how kind of where we are today with kind of CycleHub.org and all the other kind of work that we do. So that's how it all started.
Scott and I discussed the Recycles project, which is just one of several community-based initiatives that CycleHub.org runs. The Recycles project is CycleHub.org's own scheme, which is incorporated into a wider Scottish Government-funded programme, previously called Access to Bikes. This programme is currently funded in Dundee and Angus through TACTRAN, the Tayside and Central Scotland Transport Partnership. You might hear the Recycles project occasionally referred to still as Access to Bikes.
You only need to look at the kind of the amount of bikes that we're getting from recycling centres is just insane. The amount of waste that Access to Bikes is taking from landfill. It's kind of the cycling industry's dirty little secret. No one talks about at end of life what happens to the bikes. But up until recently, there's been no manufacturer responsibility from that side of things at all. Whereas you have organisations like us that we are an answer for that. We are an answer for this problem. We are an answer for the 150 tonnes of tyres that go into landfill every year.
An answer indeed. Over these 4 episodes, we will hear personal stories attesting to the power of bikes, cycling and the Recycles project in shifting attitudes and behaviour for healthier relationships with ourselves, each other and our surroundings. So here we are now, at the Dundee CycleHub workshop, and we don't have long to wait before someone arrives with a donation.
Hi, I phoned earlier about donating my bike.
Yeah, sweet. So basically, I need your name and signature, and then it's as simple as that.
This is David, who came to donate his old bike. David kindly agrees to sit with me and share his story over coffee. It's a sunny day. We sit outside at the CycleHub cafe. Children are playing, and we hear the water fountains in the background.
Hi, my name's David, and I've donated my bike to CycleHub.org.
Thank you so much for agreeing to speak to me this afternoon. How long have you had this bike for?
Since I was 16, I think. I think I got it for my birthday. Yeah, I must have been 16 because I was about to go to uni, and I knew I needed a bike to sort of get around the city.
Yeah. So this was a birthday present?
Yeah.
Were you expecting to get a bike for your birthday?
Yeah, I found the bike and then my mum was like, why do you want that? That's a woman's bike. I said, no, it's unisex. It's unisex. So yeah, and then my family started calling it the Mary Poppins bike because it looks like something that Mary Poppins would ride. It's got tan tyres and a red frame and brown leather. It's got too much character to just be for women.
It absolutely does have character. I mean, I think it's gorgeous. I think it looks really practical.
Yeah.
And the way that the handlebars just come round, it seems like it would be a really comfortable position to ride in.
It is, yeah. Because I lived in Lochee, so I used to absolutely bomb it down the hill on my way to uni in the morning. And then on the way back up, I was like...
I ask David why he feels this is the right time to move the Mary Poppins bike on.
Because now I mainly cycle to commute for work, and it's a bit of a longer stretch. So I just wanted something, because it's quite hilly, and I just wanted something that I would be able to handle that better on, going into like a standing position and stuff.
Yeah.
This is more of a sit down and you're very happy bike.
Yeah.
And I needed a bike that was more like, I'm going to be miserable and huffing and puffing, but...
Yes. And tell me, David, before you got this one for your 16th birthday, had you cycled much before then?
I come from a very active family, so we always had bikes growing up. I don't think we realised how lucky we were until very recently when me and my brother were saying, I can't believe we were, like 12 years old and had giant bikes, which is, at the time you're just like, oh, it's just a bike. As an adult, when you have to buy your own bikes. You're like, a giant bike for a 12-year-old.
Just to dispel any confusion here, Giant is a brand of bike.
But yeah, so we always had bikes on rotation because I've got 2 brothers, so they kind of get passed down as it goes on.
Do you think you would feel differently now about cycling if you hadn't had bikes when you were younger?
Yes, particularly because I know quite a few people where I work. It's so easy to commute on a bike there, and a lot of people I know take the bus, and it's not reliable. And I've had a conversation with one of my friends where I'm like, why don't you just get a bike and cycle? She's like, oh, because I'm not really confident on the roads and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can't imagine not being. And obviously that comes from having had that upbringing where, you know, it's always on a bike and stuff.
Yeah. David sees that he'd been lucky as a child to have had a bike, making him a more comfortable and confident cyclist as an adult. I ask him if he has a particular story about this Mary Poppins bike.
I did once take it to my gran and papa's house during the summer. They live in the village over, and my papa said to me, you better watch on your way home because you've not got a front light on that bike. And I went, no, it'll be fine. And then I don't know why, I took a country road home and ended up crashing. Sort of went through the village and then I got onto the back road that takes you over to the town. It's like a shortcut because it goes over a big hill. When you're at the top you can just fly right down. And I was potentially singing, I think that when I'm on a bike and I'm going fast, no one can hear me because I'm going so fast. But yeah, I was maybe having a wee sing song, and it was dark, and I just sort of felt like doof, 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 and I realised I was going into the grass verge.
And then what happened?
I just kind of slowly toppled over. It wasn't anything major. I had like a couple of cuts from thorns, and I was like, oh no. And then I was just like, this would only happen to me. And I just kind of lay there for a bit. It was summer, and I think I wasn't wearing anything that was particularly, protective.
You must have been a bit scratched and bruised.
Yeah. And then I just got up and got on with it. But I was sitting thinking, my papa was, so of course that would happen the day that my papa says to me, you better watch, because that's not got a front light. I don't think I told him, but yeah, I don't think I directly told him because I'm too ashamed.
I have some more questions for David.
What made you think to donate this bike?
The other option was selling it, but it's got a few things wrong with it right now, and I had just got a new bike. I just thought, I didn't know if I would get that much for it if I sold it, and I was like, it's a bit of hassle, and when I knew I wasn't going to sell it, it's like, what are the options here? Because you don't really want it going in the bin. It was still a great bike, and it'll just get a wee bit of work done on it, and then it'll be back to brand new. I had heard about this before, and I was like, I may as well.
And how had you heard about CycleHub.org?
I was very aware of it when I was a uni student, and I think everyone knows that they sell on second-hand bikes that have been fixed up and stuff. So I knew that was already a thing you did, and then I just searched, and then it came up with the donation scheme.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel that you have an emotional attachment to this bike?
Yeah, I'm sad to see it go. I think because this is the most famous one. This is the Mary Poppins bike.
And David is sad to see his Mary Poppins bike go. It has seen him right through his years at university. It has character, and it has a great story. I have the opportunity to speak to someone else who knows all about the world of university students. And it turns out she is just as enthusiastic about sustainability as I am.
My name's Fiona Brunton. I am the engagement coordinator with a focus on sustainability, advice, guidance and governance for the Students' Association here at Abertay. So that's what I do. I love my job. So the sustainability stuff is about encouraging people to recycle, reuse, circular economy, hence the bikes. That all came about because I did a CPD course on sustainable development and got thoroughly overexcited. This will be going into my third year of doing sustainability stuff.
Tell me, how did you become aware of the Access to Bikes project through the CycleHub.org?
It was at a Sustainable Dundee Network meeting at Nine Wells Community Garden, and I got speaking to David, and we were like, oh, so that's something the students could really use. So then we did whatever we needed to do to make me be able to refer.
The David that Fiona refers to is David Evans, Development Officer for CycleHub.org. We'll get to meet David in episode 3.
And doing the forms was really easy.
Do you see a need for students to have bikes?
Yes, for various reasons. I mean, obviously there's the cost of living, and so it's much cheaper to ride a bike, especially if the bike was free in the first place. But for physical and mental health, for the environment, for all of those things. It's not just about getting them a free bike, it's about the knock-on from that. You know, and the opportunity to join in with bike rides and be sociable. And we know students, especially since COVID, talk a lot about loneliness and isolation. So if they've got access to a bike, then they have access to participate in, so they can go on bike rides. Or even if they're just cycling every day and seeing the same people.
Do you see many students riding bikes around Dundee?
Not as many as I'd like, but I mean, we have lots of bike facilities here. So we do see people cycling and staff cycling. Yeah. Part of that community thing is we need to make it easy for people.
I could chat with Fiona all day about sustainability, cycling and well-being. Let's get back to our coffee with David, as he also ponders the benefits of cycling.
It sounds like you're fairly conscious of the benefits of cycling versus even other forms of transport, like getting the bus or...
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bus annoys me because it doesn't run on my schedule. It runs on its schedule. And then I'm too scared to drive as well because I'm just very conscious of the fact that I'm in charge of like a 10-ton deathmobile, whereas a bike feels a little less damaging.
I mean, damaging is one thing, damaging to other people, but damaging to the environment as well, as opposed to a bike, which has a much lesser impact.
Yes, I mean, albeit I have alternative motives, essentially I'm being very eco-friendly.
And I think you are, and even if the motivations for doing it are not primarily environment or climate related, actually
I completely agree with David that sometimes the choices we make might well be for personal or practical reasons, and we can celebrate if it's also good for the environment. As I start to see the bottom of my coffee cup, so my conversation with David draws to a close.
Thank you.
No problem.
I've really enjoyed our chat.
Me too.
And I really enjoyed just getting to know a bit more about the story with this. I think it's really special. Thank you so much for donating it.
No problem.
It has a lot of personal history and it will be in very safe hands with the mechanics that will work on it and the volunteers.
I can't wait to see where this bike will take us. Join me in episode 2 for a visit to the warehouse to hear what happens next. We'll meet the magical team of volunteers and mechanics who will transform this into a bike practically perfect in every way.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and share it with others. It'll really help us reach a wider audience. If something exciting is happening in your own community, be sure to let us know so that we can help you tell your own story. You can drop our story weavers a line at stories@scan.scot. It's scan, SCCAN, .scot, SCOT. We also offer training and mini grant support to community storytellers. To keep up to date with our offerings and everything Scan, check out our website at scan.scot or find us on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram, or simply sign up to the newsletter.